Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In Nier Reincarnation, we got what might be the final roadmap of the game. Let's have a look. My first impression looking at this was, this is a very generous shutdown. I'm sure there are some people out there whose heads are exploding at that statement, but if you know mobile games like I do, you know this is above and beyond what is typical. About a year ago, I talked about how mobile games typically shut down, and what I was hoping for was something like this, ending the game with a celebratory bang. What this tells me is that the developers and publishers really love their game and appreciate their users, but this was apparent all the way through, minus the last half of 2023. We saw something similar in Alice, different developers but same idea. I see trolls saying that Yoko Taro games are failures, and while that's accurate for Error Game Reset, it's the wrong way to look at Alice and Nier Reincarnation. Alice, by mobile game standards, is a resounding success, lasting a very long time, and probably never dropping into the red earnings-wise, and both games achieved success on their own terms, story-wise. And Nier Reincarnation actually went beyond my expectations in hanging on to complete the secret stories and recollections of Dusk. When it comes to mobile games, I must be a pessimist because I have just seen too much to be an optimist, and I would feel too guilty being a blind hype man. So I always tamp down my expectations and the expectations of my viewers. But the great thing about that is that when I am wrong, we get more. Under-promise and over-deliver applies to the services and sales sectors. I believe it also applies to content creation as well. But for Nier Reincarnation, to over-deliver against typical mobile game expectations is amazing. The game really is a gift, and the global version is such a gift. Anyway, the game officially shuts down at the end of April, which means we have about 3 months as of the recording of this video. This is more leeway than I was expecting. Again, last year, I said 2 months would be nice, just to give new folks enough time to see all the story. Furthermore, I saw the end of March as kind of a hard deadline since so many mobile game publishers shut down games then, since in Japan that's the end of the fiscal year, but not Nier Reincarnation, again, very generous. If there's one line I would use to draw new players into the game now, I would tell them, this is a 1-month experience that you have 3 months left to do. Get it while you can. And I brought it up before, but the head writer of People World brought it up again yesterday on Twitter. If Nier Reincarnation ever got another version, whether it be a novelization or a console game, it would be necessarily different from this mobile version, so he hopes as many people as possible experience this version now, and I completely agree with that. Alright, but let's move to the roadmap. January, we got the People World story there in blue. F666's RD quests are coming next week. I feel there's a good reason they kept it back for so long. Lore-wise, they might be very impactful. And we got some campaigns in green, that is fine. I hope they hand out a lot of Zenith Brilliance. For new players interested in stories, that is the single most important resource. Stuff like Awakening Stones or Karma Stones, not as important. Topics are in red. Free Hatropulls and other handouts, that's fine. Moving on to early February, Argo Recollections of Dusk quests are coming, and that will round out all of the RD quests. I have a theory on Argo. Do you want to hear it? If not, you can skip ahead about 10 seconds. He might be Lavanya, or an incarnation of him, or the originator of him, and then maybe either his wife or daughter are Fio. That would add even more weight to the Argo-Fio pairing in the beginning of People World. Alright, possible spoilers there, I don't know, total guess. We got more events and campaigns and stuff. Under topics, there's one interesting thing. Old event characters and weapons will be available for exchange. I missed a 3-star handout Griff Debris that lowers your agility, and I want it. Not that I have any motivation to play battle in any mode, now that Fate boards are done and Arena is broken. But just to kind of satisfy that one thing that I missed, that'll be nice to get. Mid-February, I think that's the final season of Arena, and everyone will be in the same bracket, so it'll be like an extra long Arena showdown. This is frustrating, because balance in Arena was wobbly, but still pretty good, until New Year Sarafa. Now it's just broken, and you have to either use her or use something to counter her. People complain about rock, paper, scissors, but let me tell you, having 3 options is more fun than 2. Then they will add 3rd anniversary costumes. Maybe they'll add something to break Arena in a different way. Regardless, I'm probably not going to play Arena anymore. I did it for the pull tickets, and it looks like they will hand out enough gems from now that I won't need them. And then what even is there to pull anymore? But next slide, we'll look at Hatchers coming. I feel like I'd want to just pull costumes for fashion checks, but I don't know if there's anything that I really want. I'll look at maybe old limited banners. Okay, and then in March, release of what I assume will be Abstract 10H. I guess that they wouldn't do a Hatcher 4-star release of her, because that would anger as many users as it would make happy, because there were people waiting for, like, Fractured Leon and Bloodless Gale and Lacrima Akeha and all that. Plus, you need more materials to max out an all-new character. But having it this way would kind of get our cake and are able to eat it too. Releasing her so close to the shutdown of the game means that she's probably not going to get in the way of releases of other characters, but we still are able to get her. Okay, then we have March 28th and on. Not a lot of details there. This is why I said this might be the last roadmap. They might release something later for more details on March. I'm not expecting a whole ton during April, however. What happens a lot with mobile games is that they kind of coast during the last bit of time. Alice did that as well. Maybe it'll just stop getting updates at all, and it'll just be there for people to access what is there without anything new. But we'll see. Oh, and then if we look under March 7th, there is a Final Chapter Countdown livestream scheduled for early March. That makes me wonder if there's going to be a live stream for the 3rd anniversary, which will be middle of February. I hope they do it for February as well. I want as much developer communication as possible. That would also mean more chances at, the dramatic recitals. Okay, and then second slide here. This was released in Japanese only, but there's actually not anything super important or interesting here. But along the top, we have the daily free gacha, where if you pull a character, it's going to be a limited. So we can see all the different ones in there, like Anniversary, Abyssal, Christmas, that kind of thing. Weekly missions, that's that 2nd row. Weekly gems, okay, that's that 3rd row. Oh, going back to weekly missions, I don't see any lavender cubes in there. Come on. Let's help out the new players. Okay, and then the bottom half of the slide, it's campaigns. A bunch of campaigns, handout stuff, tickets, Karma Stones, and Awakening Stones. Don't really need them. We don't need them as much as the Zenith Brilliance for new players. And then at the bottom we have a bunch of gacha. At most there will be 5 at one time. Let's see, the first one will be Characters Good for the Recollections of Dusk. And then next one will be a limited character Fess gacha, volumes 1 through 3. The 3rd gacha will be another Recollections of Dusk. That'll be for Argo, I'm guessing. And then the 4th one is a paid gacha, which is weird because they've now turned off the ability to put money in the game. I guess people that have paid gems and keep it until then, until the middle of February, they can use it then. I don't know. Oh, but yeah, these are the anniversary characters. And then from March 8th, there will be a new abstract character. Probably, again, 10H. No sign of Abyssal Argo in this release, but that doesn't mean that he can't come out in some place just out of nowhere. I still hold out hope for his release. Okay, so that is looking at the slides. To end the video, I can share my plans for my videos from now to shutdown. They're mostly going to fall into 2 main categories. 1, guides for new players, and 2, preservation. 1, you might be thinking, guides for new players now? And yes, I'm talking about now. Part of my reason for playing Alice after Shutdown was announced for Global was to put myself in the shoes of folks coming to Nier Reincarnation to see what they would feel in that situation. But Nier Reincarnation is going to be much friendlier to new players. Basically just pull 3 decent attackers, slab them up, and then blaze your way through the main story. But yeah, I believe in Nier Reincarnation. I believe it is worth taking a month to go through the whole main story to see it. And for Nier fans, even casual Nier fans, I would say this is a must-do. We don't have an announcement yet if there's going to be any kind of permanent record, like a website or like an offline app or like a book or something, or a console game. We have to operate at this moment under the assumption that there is not going to be a permanent record. So we have to get people in and then experience it now. That being said, kind of the second big category of videos that I'm going to make is for preservation. And this is not talking about just, taking screenshots and recording stories and whatever. For one thing, uploading just straight recordings to the internet is against the terms of use. For another thing, anybody can do it, so I don't know why it has to be me. But I have a unique voice, I have a unique perspective, and I can apply that to, Nier Reincarnation or other games. I can show the Japanese mobile game industry side, I can talk about translation, or fashion, or culture. It's fun for me to exercise my brain muscles talking about this game. And there are like 2 people out there that appreciate my take on things, so I'm happy to present it to them. But yeah, a lot of the videos that I've been making up to now fall into that preservation category. Like all of the fashion checks, they fall in that category. And there's a reason why I've been doing them little by little up to this point. It's so that I don't have to cram them into the 3 months that we have left here. For fashion checks, I'm pretty close to done. I have to do the remaining New Year's characters. I want to do one more for Sadhu. I might want to do Hina and Yuzuki, but I don't know. I actually might be done with the fashion checks, so I'm glad to have that squared away. But other videos, like looking at Marie and Yuri through the lens of Greek tragedy, I want to do more stuff like that. I talked about maybe the unspoken subtext of Fio and Lavania's relationship. I'll link to that video below. That's one of the ones that I'm more proud of. Stuff like that, analysis and interpretation that only I can do. That's what I want to spend the remaining 3 months working on. But yeah, gameplay, I don't know. I'm probably going to make one more Fateboard video showing the final clear, and that'll be that. I spoke previously about maybe doing challenge runs, playing all the bosses with just handout stuff, but I'm going to have to be pretty bored and pretty motivated at the same time to want to do those. Okay, like I said in a community post, now the real work begins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.